Hello and welcome back to another episode of the A2D Agree to Disagree Sports Pod. Today, I myself, Christopher Costa, am back again for another episode with the young man himself, Aiden Totten. So,
Daddy's home.
how might we be doing today, son?
Just got out of the shower feeling dangerous. Dogs 8-0 dub this evening against Corey. So, can't ask for much better. And before we start the episode, I just, gotta get a little bit of self-promotion in. Buy my book, okay? I wrote this thing a couple years, I'm saying, take the time out of your day, read it online, get a paper copy. I don't care. Just give me your money, you know what I'm saying? All right, let's talk sports.
All right. First off, more love to Sam Coppola. Out again tonight. We'll be back soon. Don't worry about it, kids.
Oh, yeah.
He's college.
Call it like we've been high school and we've been hockey and we've been doing all this and that. Yeah. So it's hard to keep a consistent schedule. Yes. And with college, it's
sorry about the no upload. But we are home.
We are back. We are back. We are indeed back.
Ed Helms said in The Hangover, we are back.
We are back.
Now let's jump right on in. We're starting in the land of. So, after Team USA got absolutely embarrassed.
Yeah.
Is the word I'd use. Embarrassed in the World Cup. LeBron and seemingly every other good basketball player in the NBA is coming or saying that they want to come play for Team USA.
Yeah,
because they're embarrassed.
Like Bron called in the motherfucking Avengers out here.
Yeah.
We got Bron, Steph Curry, KD, Kyrie, freaking who else? AD, D Book wants to play, Draymond wants to play, Dame wants to play, De'Aaron Fox wants to play. It's a lot. It's a lot. So why don't we take this time to assemble the Avengers? What does the ideal 2024 Olympic roster look like? So I think we start point and then go, point, shooting guard, small, power, center, and then a little bit of bench. So point guard, I feel like we got to start with Steph Curry. I feel like that's the obvious one. Shooting guard, I feel like D Book could start at the 2. If that's who they're going with. I think.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got to have Bron at the 3. Bron at the 3. Yeah. KD at the 4.
Mm-hmm.
If Joel Embiid commits to Team USA. Joel. If not,
able to play for Team USA?
I think so, because I think he's had citizenship for long enough. Yeah. I don't really know how it works, to be honest with you. It's either you playing for Cameroon or the U.S. It doesn't really matter. But let's say in a perfect world, Joel commits.
If not, give me the brow.
The brow, yes. But let's say for this one, we have Joel. So we have point, Steph, shooting guard, Book, small forward, Bron, power forward, KD, center, Joel. Now at the bench, give me Kyrie Irving to be our 6th man.
Yes.
We'll have Dame as well. Who else will be in there?
Give me Draymond.
Yeah, I was going to say, give me Draymond. Who else we got in this pool of players?
Aliens have the death beam pointed at Earth. I want Iguodala.
Okay, boy. All right. I think he might have retired.
I don't know if he's in the league anymore. But you know what he could be in? Avengers.
He could be in the World Cup Adventures. This is like the.
All right.
Who else could play the forward spot that could commit to Team USA? There always is that random guy, like the Tyson Chandlers, the Mason Plumlees, the DeAndre Jordans of the world. So who would, low key, maybe Julius Randle for the Knicks? Maybe they decide to bring Paolo from the FIBA World Cup team. I think there's a lot of options they could go with. So
Anthony Edwards,
maybe they do some dumb shit. Just keep a small bench, bring in the young man. But obviously, we got the brow. The brow is also on our bench. So it's a very good basketball team. Is what we're hearing. Yeah. Team USA, we're back.
We are back.
We are back.
Okay.
Now to move on.
So now we should move into a bit deeper in the NBA. There have been reports that Kevin Porter Jr. of the Rockets decided to say, "Let's get a little physical,"
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he uh, he uh, he assaulted his girlfriend, who actually plays in the WNBA. But this is causing the Rockets to want to seek a trade for him.
See,
What do we think, man?
I I don't even know. Like this, prayers out to this girl. Like I feel terrible. Like her vertebrae is broken. Like that's like how do you even recover from that? Like and
Yeah,
Kevin Porter Jr. This isn't like his. This is like his second chance because I'm pretty sure he like early got caught on doing some stupid shit, and that's why he got traded from the Cavs into the Rockets. You know it's not like he's a bad bat. Like he can hoop. He's been clinical
yeah,
to these Rockets teams, even though they haven't been good. It's just like I feel like it's safe to say that his career is now over.
yeah,
I think I don't know how. I think the NBA needs to make an example of him as well, because like you see this all over sports.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And like I don't know what causes someone, especially a professional athlete, to want to lay hands on their significant other or any women in general. But
yeah.
I feel like it happens too often in sports, and I feel like KPJ might need to be made an example of. So
I feel like a suspension is in order. Maybe a little jail time for those of us, but no, I don't know. It's not good. I mean, nobody should ever do that, especially. I don't even know. Just shouldn't happen.
it just shouldn't happen.
It really shouldn't happen.
It
It's
shouldn't happen.
unacceptable. But now we shall move to our next segment.
Too away from the politics and jail
Yeah,
time. Let's
yes.
talk. Let's talk more.
From the deep, we move to the top. We have Brandon Ingram is not expected to come back with the NOLA Pelicans this summer. What are your thoughts on that?
So, as a big believer in this Pelicans team, who big fan of Zion, I like Bi. It's just I don't know. Like I feel like he should stay, like because he's a very good basketball player. It's just like the availability with both him and Zion has been so like all over the place that I feel like maybe I don't know, maybe the doctors in New Orleans aren't like feeding him enough gumbo or some stupid shit. Like I don't really know what's going on over there, but like maybe I don't know why he wouldn't resign. I mean he's like I think he might be at the oldest 26 years old, so I mean like maybe even take a pay cut, like get some depth on the roster. Like I don't really know what his reasons for not staying are. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Confused to say the least.
I mean, I wish he would stay. I think New Orleans might have a bit of a future here, and I think he would help out definitely. But I feel like there's always a reason.
Mhm.
I'm sure there's something that might be affecting his thoughts. So we can never speculate. Speculating is never good.
Yeah.
But who knows? Just covered that. Now we're gonna move on to the pigskin.
The foosball.
Now, before we get into what we have written down, I would just like to formally apologize to the viewers. Over the last episodes, or I guess most episodes of this show, we have voiced a very strong love for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And with this love for the Pittsburgh Steelers, we've gotten rowdy. We've had a good time. We've listened to great music, and we've made our picks based on the Steelers. But after this weekend, I don't really know what to say anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, 40-7 is just, or 37-7 or whatever it was.
It was 30-7 at the final.
30-7.
In the home and season opener for your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, don't get me wrong. The Niners are not a sorry team.
No, great team. As everyone knows, I think they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But
Niners are a good team.
30 to
But
7.
if you look at it, Pittsburgh is a good team.
Yeah, on paper, this team is good. Like, this team is good.
They may not be, like, Super Bowl caliber.
Not yet, but still.
This team shouldn't give up 30 points.
Absolutely
And this
not.
team should score much more than 7 points.
Absolutely yes.
Personally, I think Matt Canada should get fired.
But I mean, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? But here's the thing. Monday night at 8:15, a certain team plays the Cleveland Browns, who are hot off a win against the Bengals. But
That was something.
I feel like week 1 to week 2 is when teams improve the most. And this team has something to prove. The black and gold will rise again. We are back. Deontay might be out, Cam Hayward might be out, but we have TJ. And we have Kenny, who sucked ass last week, but
Your Pittsburgh
Steelers. We're back. Okay, we're back.
C-A-C-K, back, baby.
Go Jets.
Just you wait, folks. I know you may have thought, in the bottom of my heart, I wanted to kill myself on Sunday about how terrible the Steelers game that was. I stood up every 5 seconds, shaking my head after how terrible every play was.
And saying that we're going to win the Super Bowl after every good play. But,
man, one thing you must do. Let's keep the faith.
Let's have hope.
And with this Pittsburgh Steelers team, I've never had more faith. The Steelers will be back. Cam Hayward will be back. Delta Jones will be back. The Steelers will be back. Because you know what they say, Chove?
They say you can't teach hustle. I don't know. What do they say?
Rock bottom. There's only one way to go. And that's straight fucking up.
I like that.
Steelers to the playoffs.
Steelers
to the moon, baby.
Back to the moon. To the moon and back, my friend. So, let's get all our Steelers talk, out of the way now. As me and you are in a little bit of a fantasy league, 14-man league. How'd you do over the weekend, regardless of the Steelers losing?
I want to know. Simple. I did have DeAndre Swift, who did have 2 points.
Yeah.
And I did have Hayden Hurst on my bench, who had like 15 points.
Yeah.
But
one nonetheless.
When you need clutch, think about the New York Jets defense / special teams. Down by 13 points, I have the Jets defense / special teams and Gabe Davis for the Buffalo Bills. Gabe Davis got maybe 3 points, 4 points. He had 2 catches the whole game. The Jets defense, 20 points.
Like 3 picks, a fumble.
3 picks, a fumble.
And a punt return touchdown.
Punt. Yes.
Yeah, you can't ask for much more. You can't ask for much more.
Yes, and they didn't give up that many points either, so it wasn't that bad.
Exactly.
20 points, that's all we needed. I mean, we needed 13, but 20 points, that's it. So, I took a big dub. It was impressive. It was impressive how I came back from the adversity, and, it was important. And seeing as I believe you're also 1-0.
I am 1-0.
I would hope so.
Took down Prezi this weekend.
Oh, wow.
It's a good win. It's a good win for us. You know what I mean? So my team, I had Russ who played okay. I had Travis Etienne got like 20 points. Mike Evans who got me a couple points. Darren Waller and Pacheco were okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then Justin Jefferson just happens to have the biggest penis in this whole wide world. So, that's awesome. Off the bench,
You
though,
let him
I have
play.
Anthony Richardson who had like 20 points, so that might that could be valid. I might
Are
actually
you
look to start
thinking?
him against Houston. I don't know, like, hey, can't get greedy now, but heading into week two,
Yeah, you don't get
excited.
greedy.
Love fantasy. Hopefully, I'm not DFL, and
You got it. I feel like Anthony Richards give him another week, and then you can think about putting him in.
honestly, like,
Just a,
because
just a thought.
Broncos country does indeed play the commies this week, so I don't really know.
Yeah, you got to give him a second.
I think I gotta give Brother the nod. So just some fantasy talk. Let's do a little bit of overview of Week 1. Obviously, just talked about your Pittsburgh Steelers, and but there were it was a weird Week 1 to say the least. Starting out in the early window, I'll kind of go game by game. So we had Atlanta smacking the Panthers 24-10. Thoughts there? Bijan looked pretty solid. Had a touchdown.
Yes, yes, he did. He looked
Bryce
well,
Young.
looked well.
Bryce Young looked hit and miss. He
Mhm.
threw his first touchdown pass to Hayden Hurst, who freaking launched it into the stands. I don't know if you saw that, but yeah,
Yeah, I did.
that was something. Baltimore also shellacked Houston 25-9, but Lamar Jackson had 6 fantasy points. I have him in another league, and that just really
Well,
grinded my gears. Stroud looked good though.
hmm
Didn't throw any touchdowns, didn't throw any picks either. So he kept it pretty clean. Proud of how he performed it there. OBJ also didn't do anything.
Yeah, bum.
I don't know if did you see him do the Ray Lewis thing when he
Yeah.
walked come on.
Did the Ray Lewis thing and then proceeded to do nothing.
2 receptions for 30 yards. That's just
Yeah.
come on.
Oh,
What are we
exactly.
doing?
Mhm.
In the Battle of Ohio, which we both picked for the Bengals,
Yeah.
actually, why am I? My bad. The Cleveland Browns came out and smacked the Bengals by 21 points. Joe Burrow didn't even play the whole game.
No.
In fact, he didn't even reach 100 passing yards. As the highest paid man in football, he went 14 for 31 with 82 yards, no touchdowns, no picks.
I mean, I thought this team
Was
had to have been better.
I don't maybe it's the calf, maybe it's something else. I don't really know what's going on over there in Cincy, but
I mean, Jamar Chase had 39 yards.
that's crazy. And you know what's even crazier? Yeah, I'm sorry to all you T. Higgins fantasy owners. 0 receptions, 0 yards, 0 fantasy points, no Bev. That's just not what you want to see early.
Not at all.
Especially as Steelers. I'd rather see Cincy win than the Browns, if I'm being real honest with you.
Yeah,
I can kind of root for the Cincy team because I like Joe Cool, obviously Jamar Chase. That's
I don't like him. Yeah.
young fun team, but Brownies proceed to go on top. Now, pause. Going over to the AFC South, got a little bit of Jacksonville, Indianapolis action. Jacksonville obviously came out, won the game, but I think honestly, if you're a Colts fan, you're not mad at this loss. Anthony Richardson didn't look too bad. Michael Pittman also had a big game, and it was solid. It was a fun game to watch. It was really close up until the end there when Trevor Lawrence kind of took over there. But as a Jags fan, you're loving the way this offense looks. ETN had 80 yards and a touchdown. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence had 250, couple touchdowns, and maybe threw a pick. But Calvin Ridley was the star of the show. Looking at his stats now, he got 101 yards for 8 receptions and 1 touchdown. And, that offense looked electric, and I'm really excited to see what they do for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So,
I could agree. Yeah.
moving on. Tampa, Minnesota. Tampa won 20-17. Any thoughts on this one?
I mean, Justin Jefferson played a great game,
Obviously.
but Minnesota doesn't have anything else. I mean, you got Kirk and Jay Jettis. Thielen's gone.
You have Pitt
Cook
legend.
is gone.
Pitt legend Jordan Addison.
Fucking traitor Jordan Addison.
I mean, what are you gonna do? What is looking at this? Look at the stats. Jordan Addison, 4 receptions, 61 yards, and a touchdown. So I mean, it wasn't a bad day for the kid at all. But Justin Jefferson not getting in the end zone at all. Come on. And,
You know.
like, Kirk Cousins got outplayed by Baker fucking Mayfield. Come on.
Yeah, that kind of says something. I honestly wasn't ready to give Baker praise,
But
but
he deserves it. Like, he had a really good game.
he did play well, very well.
Like, now, does this say anything about the Bucks? Does it say more about the Bucks or more about the Vikings? Are the Vikings bad or are the Bucks maybe just good? Because the Bucks have always have consistently had a good defense these past couple of years since
Yeah.
even pre and post Tom Brady era. I think they've always maintained a good defense. But still, the Vikings, that offense should be pushing 30 points every week. You know what I'm saying? So
But they get rid of Dalvin Cook, who is a horse. They get rid of
will
Thielen, who's
never
always another target.
understand that. I don't get that at all. Madison, that Alexander Madison, who's obviously was solid last year as a backup. Would have a decent fantasy team every once in a while. People were expecting him kind of blow up this year, and he just didn't at all. But now let's move on. Tennessee and New Orleans, 16-15. Obviously, New Orleans comes out on top. Pretty boring game. Tannehill played terrible. Carr played okay. Nothing much really to say. Derrick Henry obviously tried his best out there, but didn't really get it going. Obviously, and DeAndre Hopkins was leading them in receiving yards, 65 yards. Obviously, no touchdowns though. But hey, what are you gonna do? I really hope the Tennessee team bounces back because, they're not their future is not. It's not there.
Yeah.
Obviously, talking about the Lurs, Cardinals, Washington won. Sam Howell looked okay. Nothing really much to say there. Green Bay, Chicago. Green Bay slacking Chicago in Soldier Field, just like happens every year. Jordan Love looked awesome. Romeo Dobbs and that whole team looked great. No Christian Watson though, which kind of sucked. Vegas took down Denver 17-16. Denver looked okay. Honestly, Denver didn't look bad. Much better than last year. But exactly, nothing special. Russ looked good, but I feel like a lot of limited receiving options there without Jerry Jeudy, in my opinion. So, there's that. Obviously, Miami and LA, this was my game of the week.
It was a good game.
That was maybe that or Bills Jets, but this one was up there. A lot of offense. Obviously, Tyreek Hill freaking went crazy. So there was that.
2 throws for 466.
Exactly. 2 went crazy as well. And even the Chargers didn't play bad. It's just that's just so much offense. You can't
so much. Yeah.
You can't even contain it. Then obviously Philly took down the Patriots. Philly looked a little started out really hot, 16 points in the first quarter, and they just slowed up. Not a lot of offense through this first week. Obviously, LA came out and surprised me, 30-13 against the Seahawks. Matt Stafford looked good, and this receiving core without Cooper Kupp looked great. It was just so weird to see.
They had what's their names Tupper or something.
They had Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua.
Puka Nacua, yeah.
Guy from BYU.
Who both played great.
They both over 100-yard games. That's crazy.
I think that's what the Rams will need. Until Cooper Kupp come back, and then even when Cooper Kupp does come back, I think that's just even more beneficial because guys are always going to cover Cooper Kupp, and when you have good options besides him that he can throw the ball to, that'll just benefit you more and more.
Exactly, and that Nacua is a rookie, and I think that Atwell is also fairly young, so having fast young options around Stafford and his that's probably the twilight of his career is good to see. Obviously, Tyler Higbee's always there as a solid tight end, but Stafford honestly, he might be jumping back into these top 10 lists here soon. He really showed his ass out there, and I'm proud of the young man. Obviously, we had Sunday Night Football. No words. If you're a Giants fan, take one of these.
But I will say, I know this might seem a little absurd to the viewers who may not pay attention to it, but the Cowboys won 40-0.
Yes.
As we know. Dak Prescott had 4 fantasy points.
Mm-hmm.
He went 13 24 with 143 yards, no picks, no tutties. Why does he only have 4 points?
I think that's probably not like. I think it should be at least more than that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like he had a bad game. I mean, he didn't play great. He wasn't Tua throwing for 466 and 4
Yeah,
touchdowns. But, I mean,
he wasn't Kenny Pickett throwing for 200 and a touchdown and 2 picks.
yeah. Don't even get me started.
I gotta say though, before we move on to this last game here, why did Trey Lance not play a single drive? You're up 40-0 and Dak Prescott's still in the game?
Cooper Rush threw 1 pass.
Like, Cooper fucking Rush. Like, are we
Why
done?
is Cooper Rush ahead of Trey Lance?
Even if Trey Lance isn't playing better than Cooper Rush, fuck Cooper. Like, Cooper Rush, like, let the young guy, show out a little bit.
Who?
Exactly.
Who?
He was undefeated there for a little while. He had, like, a little streak, though, last year. Obviously, our very last game of week 1, which might have been the best.
Give me a second. So,
Last episode.
for those of you who have been watching the podcast, I personally have been a big fan of this Jets team. I was talking about how I think the Jets are Super Bowl contenders, and I think Aaron Rodgers coming to this team is going to be a great addition. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be a great veteran presence. It's going to help the team, going to show them what to do, show them what not to do, help them here, help them there. And then it happened.
75 seconds into his first drive, Aaron Rodgers took a hit from Leonard Floyd, goes down, limps off the field, stays in the medical tent, comes back out, is carted off in the locker room, and his season is over. But, there's another quarterback in New York who I've been fairly high on ever since he came out of college. Allegedly, I heard he likes mothers. Your Zach Wilson came out and played a solid game against a very good team, led them, to a touchdown. Defense stayed solid. Roller coaster of emotion for the Jets. And if you're the Bills, if you're Josh Allen, what are we doing? 3 picks to the same guy. Pitt legend Jordan Whitehead, may I say.
Yeah.
But 3 picks to the same motherfucker? Come on.
Josh Allen's performance was nothing short of underwhelming.
It was abysmal.
3 picks. I mean, he did have more rushing yards than Dalvin Cook. Let's not forget it. But
it seemed like Dalvin Cook got a lot of carries. Just didn't really.
Dalvin Cook had 13 carries, but only 33 yards, and Josh Allen had 6 carries for 36 yards.
Kind of needs. Josh Allen, you gotta respect his feet. But God, I picked you to win MVP, and this is what you're doing. That's what you're doing.
But he completes 29 for 41. He threw the ball 41 times.
Yeah, I don't think he had over 200 yards, did he? I don't even think it right.
236.
Okay, I thought, I don't know why. I thought he didn't hit 200.
He throws the ball 41 times, scores once. So you're telling me, out of the 29 passes he completed, 1 was a touchdown, and 3 were picks.
I saw something during the game too. At one point, he was on passes over 15 yards. He was 2 for 8 with 2 picks. And then a pass later, he freaking slings it down to Jordan Whitehead for the 3rd time. So there was that. I mean,
Diggs didn't play too bad.
Diggs had a good game. Solid, great receiver. Just I don't know.
It doesn't. An offense doesn't work when you throw the ball to the same guy every time.
Especially when he's double covered and 30 yards downfield.
So he had 10 receptions.
Mm-hmm.
Next closest to him was 4 receptions. You got to.
Spread around a little bit.
spreading it out a little bit. But you got it. When you have one of, if not the best receiver in the league, he's getting double teamed. He's getting everybody around him, and you don't throw the ball to anybody else. I mean, Gabe Davis is a good receiver.
You say, like, I mean, he's proven that he is
I
a
mean, we
reliable
saw it
option.
against this. We saw it against our Steelers last year, which
Oh
was
yeah,
painful watching in person. Dawson Knox, great tight end, one of the best.
and obviously Dalton
I
Kincaid, who
mean,
they just brought in from the draft, who was
mhm,
solid out of college. I'm pretty sure where did he go to school? Notre Dame, I think, or I don't really. Oh God, it's gonna piss me off. No, Michael Mayer went to Notre Dame. Anywho, it doesn't matter. What's important is that Josh Allen, we gotta spread the football around. Even if it's hitting James Cook out of the backfield for a little Texas route or a little dump off,
yeah,
got to spread the football around because when it's late in the game and your best receiver is consistently double teamed, you got to look at something else. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
Not saying I know how to play quarterback, but I'm also not an idiot. So like, let's lock in for next week here.
Yeah. But
Or
I
do you
think,
panic if you're a Bills fan?
do I panic if I'm a Bills fan? Um, do you want my biased answer or my unbiased answer?
I'll take the unbiased one first, but
Unbiased answer, I don't think so. I mean, as we know, good teams didn't play well this week. I mean, the top three teams in the league last year all lost.
hmm
Steelers lost. It's a good team. I mean, good teams lost this week. I don't know if it was like a first week thing, if it was something in the air. I don't know. But I don't think you need to worry. I think nobody ever needs to worry after week one. Because, I mean, it's week one.
hmm
You still have 16 more games to play. You can't worry about it.
hmm
So, I don't think so. In my own biased professional opinion, I think the Bills are done for. I think the Bills suck. They lost to Zach Wilson.
hmm hmm
Aaron Rodgers didn't even play. Aaron Rodgers played 4 snaps and they lost. Josh Allen looked terrible. The same guy honestly thought Jordan Whitehead was on the Bills for a minute. I think Josh Allen played terrible. Defense, okay. I mean, they let Zach Wilson dime down the field, but I think the Bills are in trouble here. That was my unbiased opinion. That was my biased opinion. My unbiased opinion, nobody needs to worry after week one.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
So now, like, I'd like to get into like the bulk of the episode here. Let's talk some overreactions as we just did right there. Let's talk some overreactions to this first week of games and these kind of like first week of football
Yeah.
being back. So like, what I wanted to start with was Tyreek Hill. Is he the best receiver in the league after that performance?
You know, I'd say it's a bit of an overreaction. Because, like I said, week one.
Mm.
Still got 16 more to play. Tyreek Hill could touch the ball 4 more times this year, and then he's nothing.
Mm.
But I think if he consistently plays this well, consistently as Tua just dropping them to him, then I think it'll be great. I think he could be best wide receiver in the year. If Josh Allen doesn't pick it up, Diggs will not be good this year, especially if he's getting double covered. Devontae Adams'
The age might be starting to catch up with him.
age is catching up to him. I mean, Jimmy G's a good quarterback, so I think there's potential there. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins, don't know about that Titans team, so I don't know. We'll see how that side goes. But I think if Tyreek Hill keeps just playing how he is, then definitely. I mean, definitely fastest receiver, definitely best mover. Not, I don't know if I'd say best move, but he's very agile, gets where he needs to be. I think. I mean, George Pickens is the best receiver in the league, but I think Tyreek Hill, if he keeps playing the way he is, could be.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything that you noticed before I pinpoint another one?
Um.
Anything crazy you want to overreact to? Besides
Uh,
besides the Steelers.
don't even get me started. Um. I just had one in my head. I'll let you go because while I'm thinking of this one myself.
So to stay on the topic of the Dolphins, are the Dolphins a true contender this year after, putting up such a performance? I could lean towards the way of yes, saying that maybe this Dolphins team, with the Bills losing and looking that bad, maybe the Dolphins look to sweep in and take the division here. No Aaron Rodgers as well. This might be a team that can really make a push here after, showing out. But hey,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that division's the hardest in the NFL at the current moment.
okay, I could agree.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the AFC North is great because, I mean, Steelers. But that division, the Bills, they'll turn it around.
Yeah, they always.
It's not over till it's over.
Yeah.
The Jets have too much personnel. They're so good. I mean, even Zach Wilson's a step down from Aaron Rodgers, but I mean, he's been under Aaron Rodgers all summer.
Mm-hmm. He has to have
Like
gotten somewhat.
Exactly. Robert Saleh said that he thinks Wilson has made a outstanding improvement from last year just from hanging around Aaron Rodgers, listening to Aaron Rodgers, watching Aaron Rodgers, doing all this and that. So I think the Jets aren't going to be a sorry team this year. They're not going to roll over after this. They're just going to keep getting better and better, and I think they have a lot of potential this year. And I mean, the Patriots were in that game with the Eagles.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they did hang around. They did hang around.
It was a good game, and I mean, the Dolphins showed out. I mean, it was a great game, but I think that division's the toughest to win. So I think it's too early to tell who's going to win that division. But don't get me wrong. I think if the Dolphins continue to play like this, Tyreek Hill continues to play like this, Tua continues to play like this. I mean, their defense gave up a couple points, but
Yes, it's a.
But I think they could be contenders.
Okay. All right.
My exaggeration was I was going to say my exaggeration was going to be that the Jets are done for the year. But as you know my stance,
Yes, of course.
I'd like to hear yours. I'd like to hear yours, please.
Are the Jets done for the year? I would say no. Are they in trouble? I wouldn't say trouble. Are they under a little bit of pressure? I would say yes.
Yeah.
I like Zach Wilson as a football player, but it's ride or die with this guy right now.
Yeah.
So I think if he doesn't perform to what this team needs, then I think the Jets might be, maybe finishing third or fourth in this division. And a team like the Dolphins could look to take it this year if Zach doesn't perform at all. So, done. I wouldn't say completely done, but weaker, to say the least, even though I happen to be a fan of yours truly.
So here's my question for you. Who is the Jets' backup quarterback now?
That is a good question. I think we could kind of segue over into our next little segment here. Now with the Jets lacking some QB depth, because I don't even know who their third string is.
I'm currently looking at their depth chart. There isn't one listed.
Wow. So apparently, Colin Kaepernick's agent has been reaching out to the Jets, asking about a job. I think the Jets got back to him and they said no, because I think Cap's like 35, and also hasn't played football in 6 years, and also wasn't ever going to begin with. But, I mean, hey, what are you going to do? I mean, Cap, didn't this guy want to bring slavery back? I mean, like, something crazy.
He did compare the NFL draft to a slave auction.
That's when maybe, the wheels are a little, he's a little unhinged. Maybe not fit for an NFL roster, but there are some other QBs out there who might be, potentially on this Jets roster within the next couple of days, weeks. Obviously, you have Cam Newton, because, man, I miss the old Cam Newton. Like, he's just, damn.
Yeah.
Super Cam era, never forget. Obviously, you have Colts legend Carson Wentz still out there. These solid QBs. Nathan Peter Goat.
Always an option.
Always an option. But yeah, I don't know I don't know, like, because I think they are saying, the Jets are saying, Robert Saleh is saying that this is Zach Wilson's team, but I feel like not having a second quarterback is kind of like, you're kind of asking to fail. Not fail, but,
Are they allowed to play without a backup quarterback?
I'm sure they are. I'm sure, well, like, if Zach Wilson got hurt, I think the punter would step in. I don't know if that's how, I don't know. Someone
Or
would
just run Wildcat all game?
Yeah, exactly. Like remember that one year when the Broncos all their quarterbacks had COVID and that Kendall Hinton dude had to play QB?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Like they'll go into the streets of New Jersey to find somebody to play for them.
they'll have Izzy Abanikanda to step up, to slam the pill.
Hey now,
hey,
now, talk to me nice. Let's not get greedy.
they can't get greedy now. That's
All right.
crazy.
So we're gonna move on to the final part of our show today. We're gonna pick our defensive and offensive players of the week,
Sounds
if you
good.
would oblige.
I would oblige.
So I'm personally gonna start in the defense.
Okay, I'm fine with that. I feel like our answers might be the same.
I don't know about that, though, partner.
All right.
Because I'm gonna go with as you know how I feel about him, the New York Jets, Pittsburgh legend, Jordan Whitehead.
Okay, I like that.
I mean, in Bro's contract, it says if he gets 3 picks the entire year, he gets like $500,000 or something like that bonus.
So he just
Did it
made
in
$500K off one
Did
game.
it in one game.
One game.
And I think that's exemplary. I mean, the other team's quarterback didn't play a great game, but I mean, getting 1 pick in a game
It's still good.
is
It's
good.
still good.
So getting 2 and then 3 picks in one game off the same quarterback, a skilled quarterback, one of the best in the league, and you get 3?
Saying something.
think
That is definitely saying
That's
something.
saying something. I think he played very well.
I like that. I like that pick. I like that. Now, my pick, I kind of just like, even though we lost, it's hard to go against 5 tackles, 3 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. Trent Jordan Watt had arguably one of the best games of the week on a terrible defense who just, they didn't want it. They didn't want it like TJ did. And that's why he is my defensive player of the week. Go Lurs, baby. Go Lurs. Now, let's talk offense here.
So for the offense, I'm going to go with Tyreek and Hill.
Yeah, I mean, there's no debate. You could argue for Tua, because obviously Tyreek's not having that performance if Tua's not throwing the football. But still, 215 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, you don't do that. You don't get those kind of looks. You don't get those kind of yards with those kind of touchdowns without being like, an all-star.
Yeah.
So
simple as that.
Simple. Absolutely simple.
All right. Well, do you happen to have anything to add before we cut it out?
So I do have some sad injury news to add. Deontay Johnson is going to be sidelined a couple weeks with that hamstring injury. And Cam Hayward's going to be gone for, I think, a couple weeks as well. It's just, week 1's been tough. You know what I'm saying? Losing,
Don't know who wrote the script for this week 1 of the NFL season, but I think they got
They
fired.
did a terrible job. They did a terrible job.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that front, I would like to say thank you all for joining us again. Love doing it. Love seeing you all. Good time talking hoops. Good time talking the NFL. It was a great week in the NFL. Hoops is going to be something that develops in the future as LeBron and the Avengers hopefully
To redeem our country.
back to what it was. So yeah, after that, I'm going to hand it off to you, partner, to take us to the promised land.
Before we head out, just one more
Oh,
time.
wow.
Just one more time. Come on. Like,
Just
you know,
the long
look at the
journey,
kid.
folks.
Look at the kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know, I can't promote this
Available
shit.
on Amazon Prime. The Long Journey by Aiden Totten.
I cannot promote this shit enough. You know what
Buy
I'm
it.
saying? Buy it. You know,
Buy it.
buy it, please. Please.
Yes.
Now,
Please, to the promised land.
to the promised land. This has been Agree to Disagree Sports Pod. Stay thirsty, my